Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Dad drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey everybody, welcome to Bwaaa, a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
There he is.
There he is.
Rusty, it is Friday. That ain't right Friday.
That is not right Friday.
What's on the agenda that is not right this time?
I used the Chat GPT again.
Oh, no.
We've been playing with Chat GPT a lot. So I created King of the Hill. I had Chat GPT create King of the Hill like bands.
Okay.
Like
musical bands.
Like musical bands. So
Gotcha.
like a King of the Hill country band.
Oh.
And then I said create like a set list.
Oh, very nice.
For
Okay.
a live show for them.
Okay.
And so
Are any bands really featured in King of the Hill? I mean, I know the Replacements do the theme, and then I know that the guys from Green Day were in with Shane Crittenberg or whatever his name was, right? The one where Hank has to go knock on the garage.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Are there any other like bands that are featured in King of the Hill?
Oh yeah, John Redcorn's band.
John Redcorn's band, and then ZZ Top.
ZZ Top's in there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the only ones I could really think of.
That's the only ones I think of too. If you guys can think of more, please let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more.
Mason's not
Randy
here
Travis. They had the whole country thing.
Oh,
where it
that's
was like
right,
Randy Travis, and
Yeah,
she was
Willie
like
Nelson.
Rooster Boy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was
Lyle Lovett.
Lyle Lovett,
Yeah,
and then Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. I answered. You answered a lot of that for me.
Yeah.
By the way, we're recording this during the week. Mason is not here.
Yeah, he's not here, but he's here in spirit.
We are two-man banding it today. So, we want to talk about that list.
Yeah, so I asked it to create a King of the Hill country band with their first. I did album, sorry, not set list for live show. I said, can you create a King of the Hill country band with their first album and list of songs?
Okay.
So here we go.
This is country?
This is country.
Okay.
And so it didn't give me a band name, so we'll let you guys come up with the band name. But the album title, so if there was a King of the Hill themed country band, their album title would be Propane and Possums.
Propane and Possums.
Propane and Possums. Yeah.
Okay. Why possums?
I'm not sure. So that's what it gave us. So the first song would be the intro, and it would be called Arlen, Texas.
Okay.
Which that sounds good. And then, so also if there's any musicians out there and they catch one of these song titles and you want to generate a song and send it to us, you could be
Let's see. I see
the outro. I don't see I don't see anybody taking the intro away, but you could definitely be the outro.
And while we're talking about bands, let's talk about the Flame Trick subs.
The
who
Flame Trick
provide
subs.
our intro.
So
and
it's
all our music.
you know more about them than I do.
Yeah, I grew up listening to them. They are an Austin-based band now. Wonderful people. So. Yeah, we just want to thank them while we're talking about bands.
Yeah, for
now,
sure. Thank them for sure.
I see Propane and Possums as kind of a concept album, right? So
it's
got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's telling a story, kind of like Pink Floyd, The Wall.
You know, this kind of does almost tell a story.
Okay.
It picks a character from each part of the show, and it kind of goes through the album,
Yeah.
and then so the outro is called "The Hills."
See,
of Arlen.
I see.
So that's the outro. The intro is Arlen, Texas. The outro, we'll go ahead and tell you, is the Hills
The
of
Hills
Arlen.
of Arlen.
Yeah.
So Arlen, Texas. I see that just as that like the sun's coming up music. You know, that intro music we get.
Kind of like
when
the
it's
beginning of the Teletubbies with the baby's face, and it's like
but
it's
less
just like
creepy,
slow
less
music.
Creepy. Yeah, a little less creepy. But you know
that girl that was in there, she's like 20-something years old, 30-something years old now. The baby.
I think she was. They had a story about her in the Sun. Or
Yeah, that's what I
something,
saw.
right?
That's where I saw it. Yeah, it was on the
Yeah.
internet. It came up in the tabloids on Twitter.
Yeah. So I just see that as kind of like, you know, the first episode of King of the Hill starts with that overview of the whole town and just kind of that ding 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 music in the background, you know, so just some kind of intro thing.
Maybe
It's
like a
not very
chime.
long. Yeah. It kind of leads into song one, and that's what?
The Alamo Beer Song.
Oh yeah, see, that's a good way to start
That's a good
it.
one. The Alamo Beer Song, and then it's really great because the next two songs are just like spot on for what would follow after you drink beer.
I think the Alamo Beer Song is the actual theme from like a commercial or something, right?
So it's like
For Alamo Beer.
Yeah, like Alamo Beer, but
Yeah.
it's like an extended part. It was
Yes,
kind of like when
yes.
Alan Jackson did Crazy About a Mercury,
Right.
And they changed the name of. They changed that Crazy About a Shit. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Sure.
It was Mercury and something else that they changed it for. I
think it
can't
was
remember
a
what it
Buick
was. Yeah, I don't remember, but
something,
they
yeah.
used it for a couple of different things. Where it was Alan
Yeah.
Jackson singing the same song, but he changed that one
Well, a
lyric.
little more recently, it's that song that Applebee's had. You know, the guy that was like, fancy like a Applebee's.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a
yeah,
burp,
yeah.
burp,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
or whatever,
about. Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of that one's been used a million times with different stuff in it.
Yeah. Okay. So to follow the Alamo Beer song, you have a set of songs
Okay.
that I would see. It would be like Hank and Boomhauer drinking together,
Okay.
and they're pitching their woes back and forth at each other about what's going on in life. So one song is called Hank Hill Blues.
Oh, I like that.
And then the next song is called Boomhauer's Love Song.
Oh,
So I think
very
they're
nice,
sitting there
yeah.
having a conversation while they're drunk, and you know Hank's telling him the
Yeah.
blues he's having, and Boomhauer's telling him about his successes, and you know they're just kind of riffing back and forth there.
I don't know what I was thinking when I was asking what other bands were featured. Remember they had that whole
Yeah.
CD that they put out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so they do have an actual King of the Hill CD.
Boomhauer's Love Song. I
Yeah.
think that's wonderful, and I think it'd be great if it's Boomhauer singing and it's just dang dong dang dang.
Yeah,
love.
and then it's got to be like a Mumford and Sons instrumental type deal where you've got the banjo going doo-doo-doo in the background, you got the fiddle going,
Yeah.
maybe even some steel lap guitar,
It's real homey.
a little
you
bit of
know, very-
mandolin.
yeah.
It's got to be. You got to have like a array of instrumentation. Hank's got a guitar. It's just Hank. Hank and the
Sure.
old guitar,
Yeah.
like Willie Nelson and Trigger,
Right.
You know, but Boomhauer, no, he's got the.
I think also, you know, maybe all of the song is dang old burn dang ding a dang bang, and then he gets to the chorus and it's like Boomhauer love. He's real.
It's real deep.
Well, but I'm saying you can
Yeah.
understand. Him
You can
also,
understand
you know?
it, but it's like real
just-
deep and like reminiscent of like what is it? Like Conway Twitty or one of those guys. Yeah,
sure.
Like hello, darling.
Hello,
He's got that
darling.
sound to him.
Dang old hello, darling.
So since you said this is a concept, so now we've got the Alamo Beer Song. So it's just Boomhauer and Hank.
Hank Hill Blues.
They're drunk. They're hanging
Right.
out.
Boomhauer love song.
Well, Peggy's in the kitchen.
Oh,
She's looking out the window, seeing these two guys.
you
Having
almost
a good
wrote the
time.
song there.
I almost
Peggy's in the
did.
kitchen, looking out the window.
Yeah, almost. So this is almost like a country musical now.
Yeah.
Propane and
Yeah,
Possums, the
yeah, I
country,
like it.
the
I like
King of the
it,
Hill
yeah.
country musical. Okay, so
As long as Bobby comes out in the possum contest.
so Peggy's now looking out the window, and this is called Peggy's Song.
Peggy's song.
So this is how I see it. I see it, you know, they're drinking.
Yeah.
They sang their songs, whatever.
Sure.
They told their stories. Now Peggy sees these two guys out there, and now she's singing the song about
She's almost seeing
whatever,
the same
Hank
thing, but just
kinda
through
thing.
her eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
instead
yeah,
of before we saw it through their eyes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She sees two drunk friends
Every
reminiscing
day
about life.
They're
Yeah.
out behind the fence. Yeah.
It's something like that. Okay, and then The next thing you've got is so now you've got Bobby. We're aging this up a little bit. Now Bobby is older, and this song is called "Bobby's Got a Brand New Truck."
Oh.
But the kicker of this song, this is how I envision the song. The kicker of this song is it's not really a brand new truck. It's a brand new to him truck.
Sure.
But the sentimentality of it is it's his dad's last truck before his dad bought whatever the new Fandangle truck he has now. So
you wouldn't even need to age it up. You could say that Bobby has like toy trucks and he sees trucks and he's just wishing for his first new truck. You know, that kind of
maybe
thing.
that, maybe that too. Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
he can see it in the future. His dad's going to hand him that one down and all the stuff he's going to do with it.
Yeah, that sounds great too. Now, so the reason why I put this at nighttime is because the 7th song on the track is called Luann's Lullaby.
I like that too.
So I envision that like I don't know, maybe a Leanne Rhymes kind of sound singing and I don't know, singing and howling at the moon or something.
One of those
singing to the
I'm
moon.
blue. That kind of
They kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
You know, looking for the bottom of a bottle of whiskey or something. You know,
looking through the bottom of a bottle of hair teaser. Or whatever the stuff is.
She's in there with a towel wrapped around the deal, sitting there huffing her hairspray. Luann's Lullaby is number 7. Number 8 is what I think Luann's Lullaby really is, which is the Strickland propane jingle.
Oh.
So I imagine that when she's laying there trying to sleep, that's what she hears.
I really like the structure of this album.
Yeah, I do too. It's crazy how it all kind of fit together, and we're able to weave it into something.
Yeah,
yeah. I like
the fact that you've basically got 2 jingles on here. You've got the Alamo and you got the Strickland propane one. Right?
And I just want to let you guys know, I don't care what your opinion is on like AI or anything too much.
Yeah.
I understand it is what it is, but it gives us it's a creative outlet. It allows us. It gives me something to look up and talk about.
Absolutely.
Give us an avenue to discuss, because I know a lot of people. They don't like it. We haven't had any bad. No. Nobody has said anything to me personally or whatever. But you see stuff out there in the sphere of creativity. I don't think you could find 2 guys who are more creative outside of having to have technology. Me and Mike are pretty creative without having to do all this stuff. But
it's just a
fun.
tool, man. It's just a
fun.
tool.
It's fun to me. I find it is, like you said, it is a tool. But to me, it's like I remember AIM back in the day. Instant Messenger had this deal called Smarter Child. And it was like a chat bot. It was like an early version of what we have now for AI chatbots.
I remember those webpage chatbots. Yeah.
But you could go back for AI to like the 60s.
Yeah.
They used some psychological principle where they programmed this machine with some psychological principle. I don't know the exact name of the principle or whatever it is, but the premise of it is you talk to it saying, well, so-and-so hurt my feelings. Then the machine would ask you, why did they hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
And it got to such a really personal level with some of these people that they were asking other people to leave the room so they could talk to this computer. And that was in the 60s.
I wonder if that's what...
that's crazy to think.
I wonder if that's what BetterHelp is. You just talk to it and it's just an AI talking back to you.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that? Okay, so Strickland propane jingle, whatever that is. That's, like you said, it might be just a commercial jingle or whatever. Like O'Reilly's, or something jingle. Stick in your head like that. The next one, which again makes me...
I would like to see what's her name mentioned in it though by Buck. The girl in the office that he's diddling.
Oh, Debbie.
Yeah, I'd like to see Debbie mentioned in it.
Yeah, I would like to say that. At the end, it has to mention Debbie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ask Debbie for the discount.
Or this song was written by Debbie.
This song written by Debbie.
And the song has
During
to be
working hours.
Garbage, but whatever.
Yeah, sure.
So the next one is called Lady Bird's Howlin' Blues.
Oh.
And it's just Lady Bird yodeling. They've taken Lady Bird's howl and modified it on music equipment or whatever, however they do it. They've loaded it into a MIDI controller or something, and they're doing things with her voice. And so it's just her yodeling. Lady Bird melodically yodeling to the sound of a banjo and a fiddle only.
I would love it if they took that
and the washboard. That's it,
and then turned it like into an electronic version or something, right? So you've got her howling kind of going on, and you've got the banjo, and you've got the stuff that she's howling on to, and then.
Oh, like that. It's just her. That'd be good too.
There's this wonderful band that, and I don't know if I'm dating myself or not, but There's a band called
Kraftwerks.
No,
That would date you.
Kraftwerks.
That would date you. That's the first electronic.
There's a band.
Music.
There's a band called John Philip Sousa. I don't know if you've ever heard. No, it's Thumpasaurus.
Thumpasaurus.
Yeah, if you guys don't know them, try them.
That sounds
they got
pretty
some good stuff.
I have to check that out.
But they have some things like that where they took like an old blues song and turned it into kind of a thumper. You know, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's very.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Very creative.
Yeah, I like creative stuff like that. There was a kick I was on when I was probably a teenager. YouTube. I was probably like 19, 20.
Sure.
Where it was like swing music of popular songs.
Yeah,
Get up and get down with the sickness.
Yeah.
That was
that jukebox.
Richard Cheese.
Richard Cheese. I knew Richard Cheese.
Richard Cheese. That's what it was. Come on and get up
down with the sickness.
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved it. Like the Frank Sinatra swing sound. Loved it. Slight influence. My dad, he went through this weird music phase where we were like, he wanted for like gifts, like when we're getting gifts, he was asking for Rod Stewart's American collection of singing all the American greatest hits and stuff.
Like standards.
It was like a 7 it was like a 7 double disc set of music that Rod Stewart did. Yeah, Rod Stewart was on a kick. He was looking for middle-aged dads everywhere.
Isn't it crazy how when they get older, they do tend to, they either go into country or they go into the standards like that.
There's even like this weird thing where like the white rappers are coming in like, through street music and going to country, like Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll was rapping. When I first heard Jelly Roll, he was rapping out of Tennessee or wherever he's from, and now or West Virginia, or I think it's West Virginia. I don't know where he's from, wherever the hell he's from.
Sure.
And then now he's even 5 times more successful as a country artist than he ever was doing rap. He's in the Grand Ole Opry.
You just find your niche.
Done his platinum.
The guys that like what's his name from Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish. His country music was wonderful.
Yeah,
I liked his country music.
Great. We've seen him a couple
it.
of times. Yeah, it's.
I saw him at the.
Those are very rare
Farrell
to be able
Center.
to cross over both.
I saw him at the Farrell Center when they were still Hootie and the Blowfish. Back at they were doing like a reunion tour or something in the late 2000s, maybe.
Yeah, still no dancing.
Yeah, still no dancing. I don't know if you could dance to Hootie and the Blowfish. It's more like swaying.
It's kind of jam bandy.
It's like you just kind of like sway.
Yeah. My YouTube music right now thinks,
I only want to be with you.
my YouTube music right now thinks that I really love like jam bands, like Fish.
You do though, don't you?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't like jam bands?
No, man, because the songs are like 8 minutes long. I can't do that. I don't have that kind of time.
You're right. I don't have that kind of time either. I need you to chop it up. Like songs have gotten considerably shorter.
Yes.
Songs used to be like 4 minutes and 50-something seconds, like 4.5, and now it's like 2 minutes.
Hey,
boom, they get it out.
My playlists are just erratic. They're just all over the place. Like I'll get Hank Williams Sr. and then Macklemore or something. It's just
mine's pretty eclectic.
The craziest. Yeah,
I'll get like Memphis rap, and then I'll get like Patsy Cline.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah,
it's just nuts. You listen to the thing one time and the AI thinks you love it.
Well, Spotify has this new feature too. I'm not, well, actually, yeah, I can because we are on, sure. Megaphone or whatever. So Spotify is our is where we're our major host. But so they have this new feature or whatever. It's a beta feature. So it's a I don't know if it's AI. I don't want to call it AI, but it might be. I don't know what kind of technology they're using to do it, but it's like an AI DJ.
Yeah.
So it'll talk to you and tell you. It'll play like 5 songs. It'll be like, okay, now, and it'll say whatever the last song was. It just played like a radio DJ would, and then it'll say, now the next 10 songs are from such and such playlist based on your interests.
Mark my words, right here, right now.
Mark.
Music is the next big thing for podcasting. Just telling you.
Oh, it already is.
It's coming.
No, it is.
It's coming more than you think.
Like live music?
Not even live music, just music in general.
Oh yeah. No, it's massive already, I think.
Sure.
Bwaaa tracks fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas.
Hey guys, it's Mike from Bwaaa. I wanted to remind you just real quick of our official, unofficial meeting place. That is Hotel Arlen. So head over to Twitter and look up at Hotel Arlen. They are not that kind of hotel anymore. Please leave a post, follow, like, subscribe, whatever they ask you to do on Twitter at this point. And if you wanted to, you could also include hashtag Hotel Arlen and hashtag BWAAKOTH. Thanks.
All right. Is
on
that
the
it?
trend. No.
All right,
So
what else we got?
After Lady Bird's Howlin' Blues, you've got Dale Gribble's Conspiracy Song. So he hears her howling,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's like, oh,
He's
that
down in the
sound,
basement.
he's down in the basement. He's
Yeah.
got headphones on, doing whatever. So it sounds like
Little
a UFO
satellite
or
dish
something.
up at the top, picking it up.
So I think what he's hearing, he's not hearing her howling. He thinks he's hearing something like,
Sure.
oh my God, it's the UFOs are trying to communicate with me. While he's all,
Yeah.
jacked up on bold Mountain Dew. Giggy. So the next one,
Jordan, we hadn't forgotten about your pocket sand.
yeah, we haven't forgot you. The next song is Bill's Broken Heart.
Oh.
And that's just the I'm gonna be
Yeah, so that's the blue. Yeah,
my
that's
heart
the-
is broken, or whatever. And then you would have the
Stephen Root can sing too.
Yeah, he
by
can.
the way.
Yeah, he can. And then what I believe would be the outro here is you would have a country harpist, and they would be playing out. And it's called The Hills of Arlen. And then since this is a musical, or just whatever, it would just be panning out, and then you'd pan out to the country, and then Arlen would get smaller, and then you would see on the outside of the outskirts of Arlen, it would just be hills. The
Maybe
hills of Arlen.
maybe they do a thing where it's Peggy, Bobby, and Hank also talking because it's the hills and the hills. You know what I mean? Like so,
Yeah.
the actual hills and then the hills of Arlen also. Maybe that's the juxtaposition there. Not that that's real deep or anything, but yeah, man, I love this album. What was it called again?
Propane and Possums.
Propane and Possums,
The
because
concept.
there's a mention of possums in any of that.
I guess so.
Okay, all right. Well, I would buy it. I'm down for it.
We didn't hear nothing about possums.
No,
Yeah, there was nothing about possums there. Okay.
just maybe at the very end, it's like one of those hidden tracks. Remember the hidden tracks on CDs and stuff?
Yeah.
Like you didn't know they were there. It's just Bobby going, "I'm a possum," or something. That's it.
Yeah. So the next one that I did,
Yeah.
and then we'll just do two of these
Yeah,
now.
sure.
So the next one is, I said, can you give me a name, create an album, whatever, for a heavy metal? So I did a heavy metal band on the next side. So
King
the
of the Hill
album,
heavy metal album.
the band's name
Uh-huh.
is Propane Apocalypse. Propane Apocalypse. Yeah, but it's Propane Apocalypse
Yeah.
is the name of the band, and the album's called Propane Fury.
Ride the propane.
Ride the propane. And then, so you've got the first song on the album would be called Khan's Revenge.
Were you a big metal fan? Or are you a big metal fan? Metal has really changed over the years. That's why.
It depends on what kind of metal you're talking about. So, like hair metal, any hair metal at all. The only thing good that came out of hair metal was Pantera. Everything else was just good. They're the only hair metal band that figured out how to come into the 90s without perms and big hair.
I'm going to ask you a question. This is something my wife...
Rest in peace, Dimebag Daryl.
This is something that my wife and I argue over. Is Van Halen a hair metal band?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what
I
she
think
says,
so.
too. I don't.
You don't think they're a hair metal
think
band?
really.
They're
No,
borderline.
because I think like Twisted Sister
they're
and
like
Poison.
they're like the grandfather of hair
Yeah,
metal bands.
yeah.
They are metal enough to not be a hair metal band because Eddie Van Halen's guitar playing skills kept them from being a hair metal band.
Sure.
If you take out the electric him. Then it's not Van Halen anyway, so it's not a hair metal band. No, I guess not.
Past 1984, it's not really a band at all, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I like some of the stuff after that, but it's not. It's not.
They tried to conform, and it's just like Pantera. Pantera, they were a hair metal band when they started, but they knew going into the 90s that alternative music had changed, and they had to change with it. They knew that playing, an alternative style of music, they were going to have to do whatever was to elevate their position, and they did. They changed, and I think they were one of the best bands of that era for sure.
So, Khan's Revenge.
Khan's Revenge. You got Khan's Revenge, which I don't know what that would be about. I guess
I think
mad at the golf course, and he
There-
just lights the golf course on fire. Cold revenge.
I think there is a line in there
Fuck golf, golf.
about how he is Khan Susan phone, not Khan from Star Trek 2.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh, yeah,
think
so everybody keeps...
that needs to be mentioned.
That could be, yeah, so everybody
At some
calls him
point.
Khan from Star Trek 2.
I don't think he's Khan from Star Trek 2. Yeah.
Oh, what was
Ricardo Montalban?
What was the actress's name that played she was the black lady on there? She just passed away this year. She passed away last year.
Oh, Uhura? Yeah.
Yeah. She passed away last year. I watched
the.
I watched the Academy Awards for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I was
Really?
I just wanted to see
You want to see somebody get slapped?
well, not get slapped. I wanted to see whoever was hosting it was
Yeah.
gonna have to mention it 5 or 10 times.
He did.
and he did, and that's
Yeah.
that's all I watched it for, was to see. I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I don't think he's that funny, but
I've never thought he was great.
I
but
don't know. I don't understand how he got all the way to a talk like hosting the late night.
Yeah,
he's not funny at all. He must know something about somebody or have some type of dirt somewhere.
You know, I think it stems from being in the comedy clubs for so long and knowing
he was in the I just
and then
he did stand
he
up.
He hosted the Man Show with
Joe
Adam Carolla.
Oh, Adam Carolla. I don't think he's
Yeah.
funny either.
No, it wasn't great. It was, but at the time on Spike TV or whatever. I mean,
You know what Adam
it was
Carolla is to
the
me?
shit.
Like a great value Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
Sure.
I feel like
Sure.
he was in the sphere of Norm Macdonald so much being in comedy is that he tried to emulate him so much.
Yeah, he seems to know a ton of people. So I
Oh,
don't know.
that podcast, the Adam Carolla show. Yeah, he always has people on there.
Well, not only him, but I mean Kimmel. They've been around forever. Him and what's his name?
Speaking of comedy, I've been watching a lot of Kill Tony, and I came across this comedian that they gave a golden ticket, which when they give him the golden ticket, it means that they could be on any Kill Tony show
Okay. Sure.
anytime they want.
Sure.
They just have to show up. They're automatic walk-ins.
That's cool.
And they had a mute comic. They gave him the golden ticket, and he's been opening for Tom Green.
Really?
So what he does is he has a JBL Bluetooth speaker that he sets on the stage, and he puts the microphone by it, and he does text to speech from his phone. But he absolutely just kills it. I can't remember his
Gotta be
name.
a great writer,
but
you know?
it is absolutely
Yeah, I bet.
great. Roseanne said that you have to be one of the most self-aware comics ever, because he makes fun of his disability and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he does it in such a such a great way. I don't know, such a. I have to send you a link to it. It's just real unique. It's real unique comedy.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, like Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan were discussing it on Joe Rogan's podcast, and that's what they were saying. It's like, this is genius level
cool.
comedy, and he's only been doing it for 9 months, and he's already got like Joe Rogan's attention in 9 months of doing it. That's
Well, Rogan just opened a comedy club in Austin.
the comedy mothership. Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen it. It's
yeah.
right there at the old that old
He
theater.
said it was the old Ritz.
Yeah, the old Ritz. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's
I heard somebody
they got
talking about it
they
today.
got a real big, nice like L.A. looking marquee.
Well, he said that they said that he hired a bunch of the staff from the Comedy Store in L.A. because it finally shut down. With Mitzi dying and all that.
Pauly Shore didn't carry it.
I guess not.
Dang.
But yeah, since his mom.
Well, that's
died,
what he
I guess
also
they let it
said
close.
too. Joe Rogan said that he wanted a place where you couldn't cancel the comics.
Yeah.
He said that now that this place is here, it's always going to sell tickets, because there's always a part of the population that doesn't go along with all the cancel stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what he said. It's like an anti-heckler environment. If you heckle, it's not like, hey, you're banned for this show, leave you. It's a lifetime ban for hecklers.
Right.
So they're doing a zero tolerance policy for heckling, and they said you can interact if you want to interact and stuff like that, but don't don't impede. You could become a part of the comedy.
Yeah, sure.
but don't impede
Sure.
the comedy.
Yeah, you don't
thing.
stop it.
Yeah, don't sit there and say, "Oh, well, I don't agree with what you're saying."
No,
Well, you don't
no,
have to
no,
agree
no,
with what
no,
they're
screw
saying.
that,
It's
yeah.
comedy. You know what I mean? They're trying to they're trying to.
They're just trying to
discuss
make people laugh,
society.
man,
Well,
but
it's-
you throw
it's-
their timing off and you're screwed.
Yeah, you throw their timing off. They'll,
All right,
they'll
what's
definitely fire
next?
you up. So
What
the
do we
next
got?
one is Boomhauer's Rage.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't even know what that he would
Yeah.
be mad at. You don't ever really see him mad. He doesn't ever seem mad in the show.
Maybe it's
Maybe once
possums.
or twice.
Maybe he's mad at possums. I mean, I know this is not the same one, but hey,
Yeah, he
who
could
knows?
be. Okay, so the next one is the Battle for Strickland Propane.
Oh, okay.
And that is the way I see that is it's Hank Hill, and he's got a guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and then whoever his competition is inside
Thatherton.
Thatherton then.
Yeah.
So it's Hank Hill on an electric guitar.
Sure.
It's Thatherton on an electric guitar. They both have hair down to their, like
Yeah.
underneath their ass
Yeah,
cheeks kind
sure.
of thing. And they both just stand there and just
So
stone
it's
cold
like-
stare each other in the face.
So it's
and
like
they just
dueling banjos, but dueling
just
electric
dueling
guitars.
metal, and they're
Yeah.
just shredding
I like that.
at each
Sure.
other.
Hanks always has a little bit of Texas in it, though.
propane. This is my propane. Fuck you, Thatherton. Yeah. Arlen's only big enough for me. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's good.
I kind of like this one, and I see like the way I envision this one is like some Swedish melodic death metal. That's
Okay.
what I really liked a lot of Norwegian death metal.
Yeah.
because they'd have like the guitar, they would have a lighter sound to the guitar. It wouldn't be as
Sure.
like
Yeah.
they would have that guitar, but they would have a separate like the soloist,
Okay.
and the guitar doing the solos and stuff would be real airy kind of sounding. And
So like
Bill's
a dragon.
yeah, melodic death metal is what they call it. So it's like a real melodic
Yeah.
sound. Yeah, I would not Dragon Force. Dragon Force,
Pretty driving.
I don't know. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good, whatever it is. I like it. But Bill's Fall from Grace.
Oh. Maybe this is the ballad. 'Cause,
Yeah, that's what I'm
every
saying.
good,
It's like
every
it's
good
like a
metal
ballad.
album has to have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
ballad. Right.
That's
All
the
right.
ballad.
Fall from Grace, like you ever had any.
Bill's Fall from Grace. And then
I think it happens immediately after high school.
Yeah, immediately. Then you have Peggy's Demise.
Ooh.
It could be what it could be. The concept for the music video is Peggy falling from the sky,
Yeah.
and she's just
Yeah. Maybe she's
like,
singing all the way down.
Peggy's Demise.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
just screaming as she's falling, and then the song ends as soon as she hits the ground. Boom. And then the bass, and then the drummer hits the foot pedal. Boom, when she hits the ground. And that's
Yeah,
the end
man, I
of the
love
song.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fast one.
Yeah, it's a real fast
It's
one.
like a minute and a half.
It's like a minute and a half
It's like-
song. It's real like, oh, Peggy, come on. Like almost like
You can hear the wind whistling.
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah. And then boom. And that's the end of the song.
Very nice. Very,
And then
very nice.
to wrap the album up, you have The End of Arlen. The song is called Propane Apocalypse. So the end of Arlen, what I envision it is that all at once, simultaneously, the entire gas system in the city of Arlen, all the gas mains, all the gas tanks,
Everything blows at once.
everything just goes, and then out of the explosion walks Hank, Dale, Bill, and Boomhauer, and behind them Arlen just burns while
What?
they're on this like stage. And
Yeah.
Arlen's behind them burning, and they're just
wailing away.
Wailing away.
Huh.
Bill on drums.
Yeah.
Bill on drums. Dale on bass,
Okay.
and then you've got
I can see
Hank,
that.
Hank on rhythm, and Boomhauer on lead. Boomhauer's the coolest of them all. The coolest guy in a band is the guy who is shredding.
Can
you know,
Boomhauer whip out?
Girl's one of the guy that's just wailing on a guitar.
Can he whip out a guitar during the ballad?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Dale would that would be the only thing Dale could play at that time is the guitar.
Oh, Dale.
And then
okay.
they would have a guest
Yeah.
bass player
Yeah.
come up, and it would
Yeah.
be John Redcorn.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it'd be John Redcorn. He'd be he would definitely be the guest bass player.
I like this, but the country one wins as far as I'm concerned because the country
Country
one
was good.
Oh, it just feeds right into it.
Yeah, the country one's more topical. It's more relatable to the show, but I don't know, it's fun. I like it. Chat GPT, everybody.
Chat GPT, go,
Round
computers,
of
go.
applause to computers. Hey, the next thing, it's going to get really scary. So the next update for this Chat GPT, I was reading, because I've been in a lot of AI spaces here lately, just reading just to get more knowledge about it. When they update, the next update brings us audio, video, text, and image. So Chat GPT will now be able to, not like the other image generators,
Yeah.
next level image generation.
This friend of mine,
It's all supposed to be like next level, like
Casey,
even better.
you know
I know Casey.
he has been using, what did he say?
I use ChatGPT every day.
Yeah. He has been using, I want to say Wondery, but I don't think that's right.
It literally can organize your life.
It is Midjourney is what he's using. He's using a thing called Midjourney.
Midjourney AI, yeah.
And he's making these characters. Like we started a board game a long time ago, and he's making the characters for this board game and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
To tell the story. And he said that the newest update, the only problem he has with it is that it won't render out a latex suit correctly. So you say man in latex suit or something, it gives you like a latex suit, but it's like a 3-piece suit made out of latex. It's not like a gimp suit, you know?
Yeah, like a latex bodysuit.
So,
Well, should tell him to put latex bodysuit.
I'm
there
sure.
you go.
And then he said that the next update, he's played around with the beta, and you cannot tell what it generates as far as like humans. You can't tell it from a picture. It looks
so they're
exactly
finally
the same.
getting
it looks exactly the
they're
same.
finally getting that honed down, because when I first was playing with those, I haven't messed with a lot of the image generation in a while. When I was first playing around with those, it was the human beings looked.
Well, the hands.
The hands
are
too.
always weird.
They couldn't draw
way too
hands
many
or faces.
fingers, and it's weird shapes. Yeah. But the stories, they got it down.
No, that's great. Now I can't wait to see the what the audio and the video looks like for like
there's a podcast generator out there, an AI podcast generator. Like,
oh wow!
I played around with it over the weekend, and the only thing I was able to get it to do is it gives a basic like synopsis for the podcast and maybe an intro and that kind of thing. It won't write the whole thing, but because it doesn't know what to pull from.
Well, ChatGPT can. ChatGPT, if you use it, I've used it to pretty much write a whole entire like movie script.
Yeah.
Like a whole, but you got to do it in sections.
Sure.
You got to do it in like segments. So what I did is I asked it, could you write me a synopsis for a movie? So it writes me the synopsis. Yeah. Then I said, well, can you break the synopsis down into scenes?
Wow.
Then it breaks the synopsis down into which scene it would be. And then I'd be like, okay, can you give me the dialogue for scene 1? Yeah. Can you give me the dialogue? And it'll give you the dialogues for each scene. And you could literally write a whole movie script that way.
That's cool.
That's the thing with the ChatGPT is people that I know that have used it are like, oh, well, I told it to write me a movie script, and it started writing, and it stopped like halfway through. I said, well, it's only going to generate so much text at one time. Well, you gotta give it.
It also
direct.
wants you to get the pro version, so
that too. But you've got to give it direct, like commands kind of thing. You can't give it any kind of nuance at all. It has to be direct command.
The other thing is, it's not making anything up. It's basically taking the whole of the internet that has been fed to it and making these things out of it. So just remember that if you go to create stuff, there can be...
It's like a hot dog.
Well, exactly. But there can be problems with...
And there's good hot dogs and bad hot dogs.
Yeah. But there can be problems with, what do you call it? Not censorship. Plagiarism. Yeah. There can be problems with things like Turnitin, where people have to turn in school papers and stuff like that. It'll flag you for plagiarism every time because it does use things it finds on the internet to compile all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect, but boy, is it working on it.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to see what the audio, like what you'll be able to do. There's so much of it right now that's out there. It's hard to pin it all, but there was a Nirvana. There was a guy that was like, well, the crazy thing about all this AI stuff now is you can create infinite songs from a band that doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't
want that necessarily. I don't necessarily want that either, but it would be cool to just, hey, will you write imagine if you took the whole Foo Fighters discography and then made it, said, hey, plugged it up with that and made it to where it was Nirvana doing all of the Foo Fighters discography. Because, come on, if he never shot himself, Dave Grohl would have never started the Foo Fighters, at least not at that time.
You got to hand it to Dave Grohl, man.
Talented
and
superseded
nice
anything.
Guy,
superseded anything. Yeah. Nirvana, of course, is classic for what it was, but what he has done is superseded anything.
It's amazing.
That he could ever imagine with Nirvana.
Yeah. Well, tell them where they can find us if they want more of this foolishness.
If you want more of this foolish stuff, you could find us at linktr.ee tr.ee/BWAAAKOTH. And that's where you can find all of the links to pretty much everything we got going on right now.
There you go. And if you want more podcasts or want more of us, you can go to roguemedianetwork.com. And we thank you guys for joining us on a That Ain't Right Friday.
I did listen to, I wanted to shout out one of the podcasts, actually.
Please.
I did listen to because you told me about Crossroads last time we talked.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and I listened to their Crossroad episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked them. I really wish, I would really like a more in-depth episode with the Colchin family. That would be great, I think. Like a more in-depth interview.
That'd be fun.
They have a video actually on their page that has a little bit of his history on the Bird Colchin Forge YouTube that has her, I think it is, that's actually talking about it.
Cool.
But that's cool stuff. And then also shout out to the great nephew of Colonel Sanders. Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, so you've been talking to the great nephew of Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, I transpired with him through Twitter comments. Hopefully he'll respond back a little bit more in depth and give me some information.
Keep you guys updated on that.
I'd like to talk to him.
Also, don't forget about at Hotel Arlen on Twitter. Go there and populate.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of traffic over there. I've noticed.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I've been
That's great. Let's go, man. Let's claim our flag.
Bwaaa.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all later.
Wimatanye.
Wimatanye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.